Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to Small Potatoes Gaming. Today we're going to be covering the PBE change for TFT Monster Attack for November 17, 2022. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of these TFT content. And I do stream TFT, so be sure to hit that notification button if you want to see me and talk to me during my live stream. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, for a system change, we got one, and the only one, that the attack range system is getting updated to prevent unit with range 3 from attacking and walking up, which is quite straightforward. And then we got champion changes. Some champion changes that is welcomed. So, for 2 costs, Lulu, Blitzcrank, Silver, Yasuo, and Yuumi are all getting buffed. Lulu is getting her spell mana cost reduced by 10. Blitzcrank is getting armor and magic resist increased by 5, and also the spell damage reduction increased by 5% per level. Silver is getting her spell mana cost reduced by 10. Yasuo is getting his spell mana cost reduced by 10, and also his initial mana is going back down to 0. Actually, not back down, but it's going down to 0. And the attack speed is going up by 0.05. Yuumi's initial mana is going down to 0, but the spell mana cost is going to be reduced by 15. So she's going to cast a little slower, but then she's going to cast more often if her attack speed is increased by item or traits or anything. Drax stacking damage is getting decreased by 5, 10, and 10. Oh, and these are 3 cost units that we're talking about now. So Drax is getting nerfed. Nila is getting buffed. Riven's nerfed. Zoe is getting nerfed a little bit, I think. So Nila is getting her mana cost by reduced by 25. The healing is getting increased by 25, 25, and 25 each level. And the spell is now working with Morello as well. Riven's getting her HP reduced by 50. Zoe's spell damage is getting reduced by 25 and 35 for 1 star and 2 star. And 3 star is still 1500 damage. Aurelion Soul is getting a buff. Aurelion Soul is getting buffed with his spell damage increasing by 20, 30, and 100. Samira is getting her knockup removed from her spell, so that's a pretty big nerf. But compensating that, they're actually decreasing the mana cost by 15 while reducing her initial mana to 0 from 30. The bullet bounce reduction is going down from 50 to 30, so I guess that they're just removing a CC and increasing the damage output of Samira. And Set's attack damage ratio is going up on all 3 levels, so it's going up by 20, 25, and 100%. Basically, they want you to play Set more, and like giving you more option on the Mecha Prime than just running Jax only. Viago is also getting buffed. Viago is getting the spell mana cost reduced by 10, and the spell damage is reducing by 20, 25, and 0. AoE damage is also reducing by 10, 5, and 0. So basically he gets to cast more, and then the damage is reduced by a little bit. So he doesn't go crazy. I mean, like if you reduce the mana cost but don't adjust the damage, then he'll be doing a lot more damage if he stays on a battlefield for a longer duration. Zac is also getting a buff. Zac is losing 15 AD, but then his spell damage is getting increased by 20, 30, and 500. Considering him to be a 4-cost champion, I'm pretty sure that it makes sense to increase the damage at 3-star to 500. I mean 1500. The spell healing from 12% to 18%, because I think that Zac is not played too often, so it makes sense that they want to buff him because there's a lot better choice than to run Zac. I think Rammus and Cho'Gath is pretty good. Valvav is really good as well. Most of the 4-cost isn't that played, from my experience at least. And Zed is getting a bonus during kill mode. Bonus damage during kill mode increased by 10, 15, and 80, which again, he's another 4-cost that's not getting played that often. But you do play him with Laser Corp, but not that big of a deal, I guess. I tried Laser Corp and not that effective. So I guess that hope that the bonus damage increase will help him a little bit. Leona, the 5-cost. Leona is getting a spell damage increase by 50, 100, and 0. So basically, you're not gonna hit 3-star Leona very often. Actually, that's gonna be quite rare. But no 1-star and 2-star, they're trying to buff her so she's a little more useful, because right now she's just food for the Mecha Prime. So maybe increasing the damage by a little bit gives it more incentive to be played. And then Nunu damage increase per cast by reduced by 10%. So I guess that every time Nunu's casting was a little too powerful. I'm not sure about that, because every time I see Nunu, he's just running around with a snowball, but it's not hitting too hard. So I'm not sure if this will do much. But I guess that there are some cases that Nunu is doing way too much damage. That's why they're decreasing it. But that's all with the champion. So let's move on with the traits. So Forecaster, duration at 3-star for Sunny Shields is from 60 seconds to 45 seconds. I don't know how many people will be affected by this, because I'm pretty sure this is Jenna. And getting a 3-star will be quite difficult because she's a 5-cost. And Mecha Prime's getting a buff, I guess, to compensate for the Jax nerf. He did get nerfed quite a bit yesterday, but it wasn't enough. Today we're getting nerfed again. So they're giving Mecha Prime another 20 and 15 AP when you trigger the trait. So the 20 increases for the 3 Mecha Prime, and the 15 is for when you have 5. And then there's also a bug fix that they're going to mention below, and a notification, like a quality life quality change for Mecha Prime, where they show you a notification when you have no mecha that's being primed. Ox Force added an AP bonus, so instead of 246, now they have 2468, and they're reducing the power of 6 piece, so 6 Ox Force is getting reduced by 10 minimum attack speed and 20 maximum attack speed. I guess that people are running Ox Force too much at 6 piece, and they're giving it a little more incentive to chase for 8 by increasing it to 150 to 300 attack speed, which is quite a bit. If you can get that 8 piece, then it's going to be super strong. And fix a bug where 6 Ox Force didn't survive as long as intended. I guess they're talking about the 1.5 second or however many seconds that they go invulnerable. And then Spellcaster is getting their AP reduced by 5, 5, and 25. The Meteor AP ratio is also getting increased by 10. Underground. So there's now going to be a 0.5 second delay for Armory when selected in queue. Ensure no longer plays default unit visual effect when summoned. And no longer grants multiple instances of the loot when cut and run is spammed. So what happened was that yesterday there was a bug that allowed people to just spam the cut and run when you are choosing if you want to take the loot and run, right? And people can actually just spam that button and gain a lot of loots from it. Like it's either a lot of items or a lot of champions. So you see like people with a whole board of like 9 3-star buy costs and like 24 items. But you know, now it's no longer the case. It's no longer abusable. And that's it for the traits. And we're moving on to the items. So Death Cap, Gargoyle, Stoneplate, Giant Slayer, Guard Breaker, Quicksilver, and Rapid Fire Cannon are all getting buff. Death Cap is getting an increase of AP by 5. Gargoyle Stoneplate is getting the armor and magic resist per enemy increased by 2. Giant Slayer is getting the bonus AD and AP increased by 5, and the HP threshold to trigger it by reduced by 100, which is pretty good. Guard Breaker is getting a bonus AD and AP increased by 5. Quicksilver's CC immunity duration is getting increased by 5 seconds from 10 to 15. Rapid Fire Cannon's total attack speed bonus is getting increased by 5%. And that's about it. That's a pretty small change for item. I think that Death Cap can probably use a little more love, and Stoneplate too, but we'll see. For Augment, we have 3 of them. So Pandora item now properly rerolls Gadgetine's item. And threat level maximum will no longer appear on 2-1, which I think that it's pretty good, because considering like you won't see threat until you hit, I think, level 4 or 5. So getting it on 2-1 makes no sense, because you know, you won't have no threat unit available. Hustler will no longer give you extra gold during like the champion selection phase, which makes a lot of sense because you're not supposed to, right? It's like free gold basically. And now we move on to the whole list of hero augment changes. So Blitzcrank's carry augment is going to be buffed. So the duration bonus per enemy attacking Blitzcrank is going to be increased from 1.5 seconds to 2. So it's per enemy at targeting Blitzcrank, that is. And Nasus carry augment is going to have the bonus 80 percentage reduced by 5%, and stacking 80 bonus by reduced by 1% from 3 to 2, sorry. Which basically means that every time he uses ability Bonk, he'll get a bonus of 2% AD now instead of 3. Lux carry augment is going to get an increase of 25% in damage on the second cast, on every second cast, that is. And Camille was a little powerful, I'm pretty sure, because Camille's ability was when you cast the ability, you gain a 500% attack damage shield, I think. But now they're changing it, they're reworking it. So Camille now gains 50 attack damage, which I think that she got similar amount before. But now when she dropped below 50% health, she then gains a shield of 600% of her attack damage instead of from every cast of her ability, which makes no sense because that was a little too powerful. And then we have Lee Sin carry augment, which will have his attack speed bonus increased by 5%. Jinx carry augment will also decrease bonus attack speed on takedown by 10%. That's a buff, no, nerf. That's a nerf for sure. So Sona carry augment is also getting AP buff by 10. Alistair carry is getting a buff on the damage. So the max health damage is getting increased by 10 from 20 to 30. And the amount of bonus health he's getting is increased by 50 from 450 to 500. Aaliyah's support augment is where she gives a shield to 3 units. I don't remember which 3 she targets, but she gave 3 units as shield in the beginning of battle, and that's getting increased by 50%. That's huge. So every fight you'll have you know, 3 tank that will have 100% of their HP as shield also, so effectively doubling their HP, which is pretty insane. And then that's about it for the change. We now have a bunch of fixes, bug fixes that they did. I don't think that, you know, it's too much of a change. I don't think so, right? Combat recap will never display. No. Savage bin will destroy complete item if you get off. Granting a shield to an ally when rocket grab augment was active. Yeah, there's nothing really big of a deal. There's like small bugs here and there, and then typo. Yeah, so that's about it for today's change. But no, once again, if you stick to the end, really thank you for watching my video. And if you like and want more of these videos, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I know that you know, my video isn't that great because I know this is my second time doing this patch note thing, so practice makes perfect. So maybe tomorrow will be better. Anyways, so once again, thank you for dropping by and watching this patch update, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. See ya.